I smoke two joints in the morning. I smoke two joints at night. The Ganja Pardon. Papi Musk, the Cybertruck will be used boat on South Padre Island. This guy has 4 million reasons to get out of Brownsville, and there is a sucker born every minute. It is Friday, October 7th, 7:17 a.m. This is Good Morning Brownsville, and my name is Frankie Olivo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get right to it. I can agree that for quite some time now, we have had a need to have reform our uh, within our jails, and more in particular within the use of marijuana. What we have seen throughout the years is that there have been a large incarceration of individuals for uh, possession in small amounts. This has particularly affected our youth, and we have seen here locally how that has affected their dreams and desires of possibly one day going to college, being able to apply for financial aid. This has affected them greatly because once they get the charge of possession of marijuana, it prohibits them from receiving these resources. Just yesterday, President Biden did announce that he will be pardoning um, at the federal level possessions of marijuana, and this is something that reform has been needed for quite some time. And here locally in Texas, right now, we do have medicinal use of marijuana. Other states throughout the country have slowly legalized the use of recreational marijuana. What we have seen throughout those different states is that they have receiving a large influx of taxes that has allowed them to focus on education, on the improving their local infrastructure, and other necessities in which this new stream of revenue, which is taxes, has been done. I am also a big proponent of those individuals, especially kids, which is near to my heart, those kids that suffer from epilepsy. There was a case in Colorado where a father was taking their loved one to be cured, as he called it. But you and I can agree that the use of marijuana has slowly been gaining a lot more acceptance throughout the country. Texas being one which is highly conservative. Uh, we feel as if that will take a few years. That has been a contention and argument from Governor Beto O'Rourke, who is running for the governorship in this upcoming race. He has promised that he will legalize marijuana, and again, we have seen how throughout the country have been created. And in California, since the 1980s, there is a statistic that shows that over 80 jails were built compared to only one community college slash university. And you and I can agree that individuals, and we have heard the rumblings how states will throw the book at individuals for possession of marijuana. When you compare that to other serious crimes, uh, it just doesn't make sense. But now at the federal level, President Biden did say that he will pardon small possession uh, of marijuana, and he encourages governors, legislators to really focus on this. And here in particular, what we should do is help our youth. I hate for them to lose the opportunity to a higher education, to receive the resources uh, from financial aid with a joint or two. You and I can agree that we have heard these stories throughout the city of Brownsville, and it's unfortunate that these teens aren't able to overcome that situation. Could this be the step in the right direction at the federal level? where governors, legislators will take this into consideration and move quickly. More importantly, to help our youth. Papi Musk, our very own neighbor in our backyard. He's always been in the news. Currently, right now, he is in the process or in mediation of purchasing Twitter. He has agreed to purchase Twitter as the original price of $44 billion. But nonetheless, you and I can agree that Papi Musk seems to be in just about everything, especially when it comes to South Texas. One thing that has been long awaited has been the Cybertruck, and this is considered to be better than a truck, than your average GMC, Chevy, Ford truck, but with more performance than a sports car. And the Cybertruck currently, right now, it is being produced in Austin, Texas. Uh, Tesla just a few years ago opened up shop, and this is the place where they will be making these Cybertrucks. And people have been long awaiting for this vehicle. It has promised to be something that we have never seen before. And just looking at the design, it looks different. It looks sexy. It looks something from out of this world. You and I can agree to that. Well, thing that caught my attention was that Papi Musk stated that he is going to use this vehicle as his own personal boat to get from Starbase in Boca Chica, crossing the channel into into South Padre Island. Elon Musk did tweet that this truck will be waterproof and it will serve as a boat so it can cross rivers, lakes, and even seas that aren't choppy. And he goes on to say, "Hey, I need something to get me to and from Starbase, South Padre Island, which requires crossing crossing the channels." You and I can agree that Papi Musk is ahead of his time, and you and I can agree that we have seen those YouTube videos where Jeeps they are converted once they get into water. They're converted to, I wouldn't call them a boat, but they stay afloat and they're able to navigate the waters. And that is something that is pretty cool. Can we see this moving forward? Is Tesla something that's gonna revitalize, that is gonna change the game when it comes to utility vehicles, SUVs, to trucks, where it's going to force them to compete with the likes of Tesla and the likes of the Cybertruck? Because at the end of the day, we all want a new thing. And if we get a truck, if we get a sports utility vehicle, if we get a sports car all in one, we add a boat to it. Oh my goodness. This probably will be in high demand. The Cybertruck, according to Elon Musk, will serve as a boat. Will you try to get your hands on one? If you haven't already, I'm sure I'm sure you will very, very soon. Now, here locally, um, we got 4 million reasons why this individual uh, will be out of Brownsville. And lately, if you've been following, we have heard how there have been several large prize winners here locally in La Feria, Harlingen area. There was a ticket that was sold for $2 million. Well, just yesterday, it was announced that hopefully one of our cousins, one of our friends, a Brownsville resident, did claim the $4 million prize for the Mega Million. The interesting thing was that this ticket was sold at the Los Fresnos Circle K. I have family. My mom lives in Los Fresnos. And it seems too close to home, and you and I can agree. And we scratch our heads and say, why wasn't that me? So close. La Feria, $2 million. Brownsville, $4 million. They say money changes people. That the root of all evil, we have heard, has been money. Uh, do you think money equals happiness? We always see celebrities. We always look at Those individuals like Elon Musk, and we think, wow, they have it all. They got intelligence, they got a beautiful family, they got money to future generations. That is a key to success. That is something that I want out of life. One thing that I have um, that I've paid a lot of attention to is that these individuals in which we think that are happy, that are satisfied, that are content with life because they seem to have just about everything, they don't find their happiness. I look at celebrities, I look at rock stars, I look at influencers who seem to have it all. Um, Suicide has been real big within the celebrity world, and I think of Robin Williams. I think of Anthony Bourdain. Recently, there was I want to say the musician from Corn. I may have the band wrong, but there was a very famous um, entertainer that took his life. And one thing that we have seen throughout these pictures is that they seem happy. And there's a suicide awareness campaign that says smile can be deceiving. Just because they smile, just because they have money, just because you think they have it all, doesn't mean they're happy. Now, the reason why I say this is because we want to obtain that American dream. We want that white picket fence. We want that family and that Labrador dog with that picture. Well, we want money because we associate money with happiness. One thing that I can agree is that what we have seen from these artists, from these entertainers, from these musicians is that money doesn't bring them happiness. Money doesn't make them whole, doesn't complete them. While we think, while we think and we associate money with happiness, that is not the secret to life. While we can understand why this individual in the city of Brownsville chose to remain anonymous, probably for security purposes, and also because, as you all know, he's going to be the first one invited to the carne asado. We are going to expect that person to volunteer and give donations. So you and I can agree the and understand why these individuals uh, prefer to remain anonymous. But what I want my community to know is that money, money is not the key to happiness. Being happy is surrounding yourself with a good supportive system, whether that be friends, colleagues, coworkers, but more importantly, our family. Money does not bring us happiness. Money could cure a lot of our problems. And I have a friend that said, "Nambe Frankie estás loco. I can think of 4 million reasons to tell you why I'd be happy." If we're ever in that spot, hope you remember one thing: money does not cure everything. Deep down inside, we will still have a void, an emptiness inside us. We all think that having green is what we need to be happy. What we need to be happy is to have a good partner in our lives, a supportive system with our colleagues and friends and family. That, my friends, is a true happiness. And I hope that we all are all able to acquire that someday, not through money, but through love, through friendship, and through respect. Have you had your fix today? Just as soon as I end this show, I'm headed to the Human Being located at 447 East Alton Glore. It is fall season. October is here. Make sure you try their sweet and salty, their pumpkin snowy, uh, white chocolate pumpkin drink, their maple twist. Also, my personal favorite, the real caramel granita. I personally enjoy ice cold flavored coffee. I can't do the hot coffee for whatever reason. It gives me headaches. I know you're gonna say, "Oh, Frankie, you're weak," but I personally prefer iced coffee. Also, if you are into teas, if you are into energy drinks, they got a great mango peach flavored energy drink. So if you haven't had your fix today, make sure you stop by with our friends at the Human Being, 447 East Alton Glore, and I guarantee you that will be the spark plug that you need to get through your day. Today is Friday, TGIF. Make sure you stop by friends at the Human Being. And hey, if you do not want to take Frankie Olivo's word for it, take my man Roel Benavides, the greatest barber, the best barber in the city of Brownsville. He gives his seal of approval to the Human Being. If you don't want to take my word for it, make sure you take my friend Roel's word for it. The Human Being. Make sure you stop by today. As soon as this segment's over, I will be stopping by with our friends at the Human Being. Good morning, Cindy. Say hello to all the beautiful people in the city of Harlingen. Thank you so much for your time, your attention. Hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend. Thank you so much for stopping by. A good partner in life. Hey, that's what we need. And everyone's different, of course. Everyone finds their happiness in different ways. That is mine. A good partner to motivate you, support you, be that support system. Because as they always say, behind a great man is a better woman or a better partner. TGIF. Thank you so much, my man. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Now, the topic of discussion as of late has been PUB, and it seems as if just about everyone from all walks of life has been a lot more vocal lately. And who can forget those high electrical rate bills that we have been seeing? Individuals have also been sending us the disconnection notices that they have been receiving. One thing that this audit revealed was that individuals knew what was going to happen, what was happening at one time, and they still allowed for contractors, for consultants to get paid. Now, going back to 2016, 2017, PUB and management and those at the city were made aware that this Tenasca plant was going to go nowhere. And one thing that I want my community to know is that there is a sucker born in the city of Brownsville every minute. And you and I, ladies and gentlemen, are the laughing stock of these elected officials. I want y'all to join me in going down a trip down memory lane. The citizens of Brownsville for far too long have been duped and have been ridiculed and have been laughed at by these politicos. What we saw back in 2010, 2012 was the bridge to nowhere, how Datenbaum and other consultants received multi-million dollar contracts for a bridge to South Padre Island. And what do we have to show for it? A big fat zero. We have Titan Tires here in the city of Brownsville, which promised lucrative jobs, which promised us the world. We got zero from it. Just recently, the Cameron County Commissioners Court, they tried to shove down our throats an arena worth over $100 million. Those were the early estimates for this project. And what do we see? We saw the Cameron County voters come back and vote no, not once, but twice. The Cameron County voters sent a message to the Cameron County Commissioners Court and said, no, we do not need this. This is not beneficial to us. Can you blame us? The reasons why we're so skeptical of these large projects? And now, ladies and gentlemen, what we have Tenasca that, according to the audit that was presented, $118 million was stolen from the citizens of Brownsville. The rates increased 33 to 36% on one of the poorest areas in all of the nation. You and I can agree that we are pissed off, that we feel that we have been duped, and how this segment is titled, There's a Sucker Born in Brownsville Every Minute, and we're going to take them. We're going to take them for all they got. That is what these elected officials see in the citizens of Brownsville. PUB has monopolized our area and has forced us to pay above market rates. Now, I want us to remember individuals who did this to us. And based on the audit, it states that Brownsville PUB concocted a plan to mask the increased energy charges on customer utility bills. Brownsville PUB artificially lowered the charge to an unrealistic figure, then it used it to keep the city of Brownsville from rescinding the rate increases. Whenever I read this, ladies and gentlemen, I think of fraud. I think of deception. Now, it is great to have friends who are legal experts, who are attorneys. And one thing that I have been asking and hearing from my attorney friends has been there's nothing that could be done because these individuals, they have some sort of immunity. They are protected. Now, we feel, and we commoners, we laymen, we feel as if we've been robbed, we've been deceived. And I don't know about y'all, but I want heads to roll. It is one's belief that those in charge at the city commission should do everything possible to one, be transparent, which they have claimed to have shown with this audit, but take action. I was raised, ladies and gentlemen, to stand up for myself. Growing up, whether that be in a fight, my family always said, "Don't pick a fight." But if you're being attacked, if you're being put in harm, defend yourself. I was raised that if I saw something that was wrong, that I felt something was wrong, for me to be vocal. Isn't that a principle in which you teach your loved ones? Don't you sit them down and say, "Don't let anyone take advantage of you. Stand up for yourself." To me, they say, "Hey, say hombre, be a man." Going up against these establishments, ladies and gentlemen, is tough. But one thing that you and I can agree is that we have been deceived. We have been taken advantage from. They have poked our eyes and they knowingly kept on raping us. They increased the rates 33 to 36%. They knew at one time that this Tenasca plant was not going to come into fruition. And what did they do? Instead of being the champions for the citizens of Brownsville, did they stop and say, "You know what? We need to halt this. We need to give the consumers back their money. We need to credit them. We need to make sure that we make this right, that we make our customers whole again." Did we see that, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely, absolutely. One thing that I enjoy seeing is other individuals, other citizens who are taking an active stand and are being a lot more vocal than us. And I'm proud to say that Susan Rubalcaba has taken this issue by the horns, and she has been very active regarding this PUB issue. And she states, "I demand that the city charter be revised to allow us to choose our electric providers. We should not be subjected to abuse and theft. Everyone needs to read the forensic report. You will be outraged and sickened that millions of our hard-earned money went to the likes of Eddie Trevino. We paid Maxis Aguirre $35,000 a month, guys. That's more people make in a month, all for a big fat nothing. I urge you to email the current commissioners to revise the charter." Do you like being taken advantage of? Do you like being deceived? Do you like being abused? Do you like being trampled on? We can both agree that this was done for the benefit, as a few. PUB did release a statement that said, "We take this report very seriously and are reviewing it in detail. PUB will join the city of Brownsville's efforts in addressing the audit's findings." One thing that bothers me, ladies and gentlemen, is that, and I may sound redundant, but I want this to hit home. We are one of the poorest areas in all of the United States. Cameron Park was deceived, was lied to. Many individuals, ladies and gentlemen, they had to budget. I have friends in Cameron Park that said, you know what, Frankie, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have to ask for money. I have to ask for loans. I can't go out. I can't take my family out to the movies, to the mall, to go eat as a family after church. I can't do that because I need a budget. And that really bothers me, ladies and gentlemen, when these individuals, and you all know who got fat with those contracts, with those consultant fees. It bothers me, ladies and gentlemen, that one of the poorest areas in Brownsville didn't wasn't allowed to take part in something that's beautiful, going out as a family, eating as a family, making memories, laughing. And I always joke with my friends and say, oh, I want to make memories with my friends. I want to take pictures with my friends. My people didn't have that luxury, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because it's, do I spend $80? Do I spend $100 on going out to eat, going to the movies? Or do I save this money to pay for my light bill? I was trying to find emails. I was trying to find numbers because the crazy thing out of all of this, ladies and gentlemen, because my first thought was we should demand that the CEO, Bruzniak, for him to resign or for him to be terminated immediately, because according to the audit, it shows that this individual knew what was happening. The city of Brownsville just had a workshop not too long ago and assured the people, oh, everything's okay. Everything's fine. Why are y'all complaining about the high rates? They knew, ladies and gentlemen, that this wasn't going to come into fruition. And what did they do? They kept on screwing the voters. Nobody made a peep. Management at BISD, at PUB, failed us. The sad thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that the city commission has no control whatsoever regarding the CEO for PUB. The only ones that are able to terminate, to put pressure on that individual, is the Brownsville PUB Board of Directors. Now I ask you, do you think, and with all sincerity, do you really think that these individuals who sit on the PUB board are going to fire one of their own? You think they're going to openly admit and say, pues, la cagó este chavo? Emails reveal and are very telling, ladies and gentlemen, how they stated, we're going to keep this going. We're going to grease this for all it's got. We're going to milk it for all it's got. It bothers me, ladies and gentlemen, whenever the PUB board currently has more power than our city commission. You and I can agree that something has to change. I was looking for contact information, emails, phone numbers, so I can relay this to my community, because we demand answers. And just how they were so quick to raise rates, I want them to act just as quickly regarding this issue. Nowhere to be found on their website could we find the contact information, whether that be email, phone numbers, to these board members. Don't you find that odd? Don't you find that and say scratch yourself and say, why? We had a community member who went to a previous board meeting of PUB. They tried recording, and what did they do? They kicked them out. You and I can agree, ladies and gentlemen, that something's got to give. And I asked this question again, and I wanted to hit home. Do you like being taken advantage of? Don't you teach your loved ones, your kid, to stand up for themselves? To say, hey, no dejes que nadie se aproveche de ti. Don't let nobody touch you. Don't let nobody demean you. Don't let nobody embarrass you. You stand up for yourself. You be vocal. Do not lay down. It is up to us, ladies and gentlemen, to demand these answers. We want justice, Ms. Rocha. We want change. I want us to be part of the electoral process, because it seems as if every board, every entity within the city of Brownsville, they do not have our best interests at heart. Every board, if you've noticed, has not said a peep about this, which bothers me. What do we need to do? We need to make a stand. We need to show solidarity in this very important issue. They will be having a board meeting October the 7th. Today, October the 7th at 12 p.m. They purposely did it at 12 p.m. so nobody will show up, of course. But I encourage my friends and family, if you have time, show up. We need to organize and demonstrate to them, to show them that we're tired of the raterio. These individuals, knowingly that this Tenasca plan was not going to take place, they still took from the most vulnerable, from the most poorest areas in the nation. How do you feel of being taken advantage from? Are you satisfied with this current administration? Are you okay? Are you okay with these individuals doing what they want with us? Aren't you sick and tired of individuals of wanting to build these massive projects? And what do we see? We get poor, we get poor infrastructure. Look at the sports park. It was estimated at the start to be 20 million. It ballooned to 60, 80 million. Do you see $60 million at the sports park? I see maybe 5, maybe 10. Now, land is expensive, of course, but do you really see $60 million at the sports park? There's a sucker born in the city of Brownsville every minute, and the politicos, ladies and gentlemen, the politicos are laughing at us all the way to the bank. What can be done? A concerned citizen asked. Congresswoman, how can we hold Judge Eddie Trevino, County Judge Eddie Trevino, Trey Mendez, and all the other ratas for Brownsville PUB accountable? Stealing for us in the past 10 years. Please let us know. Congresswoman Mayra Flores, who is fighting for District 34, states it starts with the residents on the next PUB meeting on 10/10. I have here, I think they moved it to 10/7, which is today, 10/7 at 12 p.m. And also start voting. Don't stay at home. Congresswoman Mayra Flores states, we need to be part of the process, ladies and gentlemen. For far too long, individuals has used their seat, our seat, throughout the different boards within the city of Brownsville. And what have they done? They give us chicken plates for $7. And they say, vote for me, vote for me. And what do the people do? Pues este me da pollo. For those $7, ladies and gentlemen, that they give us, they steal hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. One thing that I spoke with a loved one was the fajita bandit. The fajita bandit, it was confirmed that stole $1 million from Cameron County. You know how much he got? He got the book thrown at him. He got 50 years, ladies and gentlemen. I was sitting in the courtroom when that happened. The guy was like, what the heck? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? For $1 million, an individual got 50 years. Here we have $118 million that were stolen, that the citizens of Brownsville were defrauded. Now, again, my attorney friends say, Frankie, they're immune to this. They have some sort of protection from this. Nothing's going to come about this because there's a difference between being unethical and doing something criminally. We encourage our friends and family to take part in the electoral process. Do we have faith that our local district attorney will take a look into the matter? As we all know, it's selective prosecution. Sylvia Atkinson was right under his nose. Did he act? No. It seems as if everyone is friends with everybody, and you don't want to go after your friends, right? Our only hope is that the Attorney General for the state of Texas and that the FBI, they're the only agencies that will tackle this head on. It's unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, but that is the only relief that we have moving forward. And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. I smoked 2 joints in the evening. I smoked 2 joints at night. The Ganja Pardon. President Biden did state that he will pardon small possessions of marijuana. He encourages governors, legislators, senators to follow suit. More importantly, here locally, what we have seen has been that our youth who have been caught with a joint or two, a small sack of weed, have been charged with this, and this prevents them from obtaining the resources needed to go to school, to get financial aid. We are supportive of this endeavor, and we feel that this is we're going in the right direction regarding criminal reform, especially regarding marijuana. Papi Musk, his Cybertruck, will now be used as a boat. He did tweet that the Cybertruck that he has will serve as a boat to transfer him from Starbase, Boca Chica, to South Padre Island. Will you be awaiting this Cybertruck, who, according to the reviews, is better than an SUV and more stronger than a sports car, and now will serve also as a boat? Only Papi Musk, ladies and gentlemen. A resident of Brownsville has 4 million reasons to get out of Dodge, while this winner chose to remain anonymous. What I want my community to learn and to talk about, to think about, is that money doesn't really bring us happiness. We see celebrities, we see artists, we see entertainers who, based on pictures, they look satisfied, they look happy. But what happens? They're alcoholics, they're drug addicts, and ultimately we have seen how the likes of Robin Williams, Anthony Bourdain have succumbed to suicide. But why? Because money brings happiness, and that's the cure to everything, right? No, being happy is surrounding yourself with a good supportive system. Being happy is having a great job. Being happy is having a partner in life that is going to motivate you and bring the very best out of you. That is the true happiness, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage the viewers to seek that happiness. And for our feature story, there's a sucker born every minute in Brownsville. And Brownsville residents, y'all are suckers. This audit clearly shows that this individuals knowingly kept this fraud from continuing. Instead of being the champion for the citizens of Brownsville and saying, stop, this is not going to work. We are charging our most poorest residents 33 to 36% increase in their electrical rates. Let's make this right. Let's right this wrong. What do we see? We saw them once they got word that this wasn't going to go into fruition. They went 100 miles an hour and started milking it for all it's got. Is this criminal in nature? It sounds like it. If the Vaquita bandit got 50 years for $1 million, what's to say how much other people would get for $118 million? But again, do we have faith in our local law enforcement to take action, to look into this matter? Only time will tell. I got the network screaming in my ear that I'm over 10 minutes. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. TGIF. Make sure you stop by the Human Being, 447 East Alton Glore. I personally like the caramel granita. They also have an amazing energy drink, the peach mango. If you haven't had your fix today, make sure you stop by with our friends. Let them know that Good Morning Brownsville sent you. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you here on Monday. God bless.